I wrote a two-part blog for Human Life Review blog about the negatives of the abortion pill. And one of them was about how abusers sometimes sneak the abortion pill onto unsuspecting women or force the abortion pill onto women who do not want it. Now, this is absolutely inexcusable, and I'm not excusing it. But this does bring up the question of why would men in particular, usually, although not always, these people are men. They can be mothers who don't want early grandchildren. They can be, a girlfriend who doesn't want a baby to solidify a man's other relationship. But often they are men. Now, why would a man not want a woman to have his baby? Now, when Planned Parenthood got started in the early decades of the 20th century, they got a lot of early support from women and very little from men. Men tended to be against, they were not against abortion. They were against any family limitation at all. Men tended to be very much in favor of large families. Okay, at least, again, we're talking the early part of this 20th century. Okay, in the middle of the 20th century, this attitude shifted among men. Many of them became in favor of small families. Why would their attitude shift? Quite simply, it was a lot easier for a man to support a large family when the economy is primarily either agricultural or manufacturing. But when you shift into a world that is largely urbanized, and then it shifts again to a service economy instead of a manufacturing economy, a large family becomes an economic burden. A large family becomes really impossible for a lot of people to manage. In addition, in past time periods, you didn't just have the solid nuclear family, you also had, to some degree, the nuclear family, which was very solid, plus a lot of times the extended family. Grandparents would often live in the same home as their children, their adult children, and their grandchildren. Since there was no gay liberation, the spinster aunt and the bachelor uncle were often around. And so you had a lot of people, not just mommy, to take care of the children. Daycare centers are not really an answer to, quote, working motherhood, unquote. They're really an answer to the fact that the extended family fell apart and the nuclear family is in danger. But anyway, the problem with the reason a lot of men would seek to force an abortion on a woman, this is not an excuse, but it is a reason, is our child support laws are out of whack. They don't allow the man or the non-custodial parent, who is usually the man, to plead poverty. They will put the person, who is, again, usually a him, in jail, in prison, when he just can't support his kids. Okay, now it could be that he's an like what Phil Schlafly called an irresponsible slob. But he also could be somebody who makes a genuine effort to support his family and can't do it. He just doesn't make enough. And you can't tell him to be richer. Now, it's also true that some of these men are very sexually irresponsible. They sire a lot of children because they are promiscuous. Okay, and again, you know, so in that sense, they are kind of bringing it on themselves and on as well as on